And that brings us to the topic from Colorado, as Morgan Thompson is still alongside me. As we try to get the bookkeeping straight, the whole notion of the president being in Colorado without the governor, without the senior senator, and without a, quote, promising congressional candidate, Morgan, as you might imagine, that starts to raise some eyebrows. And it certainly has elicited some comments from my old pal, with whom I served in the Congress of the United States, who just won the Republican nomination for governor in Colorado. He is former Congressman Bob Beauprez. Bob, we welcome you to America's Forum.
Nice to be with you, J.D. and Morgan. Thanks for the invitation.
And congratulations, by the way.
Well, thank you for that as well.
We know you're busy on the campaign trail, but we saw a lot of press about this, that Governor Hickenlooper, Senator Udall took pains not to appear publicly with President Obama. Did it turn out to be that way?
Yeah, nobody wants to get near the guy, which is an interesting turn of events. You probably all still have the image in your mind of 2008 when he was nominated here in Denver, and the football stadium, which holds 75,000 in Vesco Field, Mile High, wasn't even big enough to hold the entire crowd. Now they have even the elected officials won't risk a photo op with the president. Tells you, J.D. and Morgan, pretty clearly how much the Obama luster has diminished out here, and it's created an opportunity for people like me and Cory Gardner and many others.
Yeah, it's a really big change. Now, we hear today that Obama doesn't want to go to the border, yet there are pictures of him playing pool, drinking beer in Denver. How do you square those two things?
Well, it's a lack of
So did we lose?
I think you were saying a lack of leadership. Did we lose Bob Beauprez? We may have a lack of an audio signal right now.
Sounds like we do.
We'll try.
I can
there
hear
you are.
Oh, good. You're back with us, Bob.
You fine.
Good.
Okay, good.
Go ahead, sir. You were saying.
Well,
go ahead.
I was saying a lack of leadership on the president's part, but unfortunately, J.D. and Morgan, that's nothing new. I mean, we've seen that from the beginning. We've seen that everything is about politics. So, carving out time for fundraisers and yet not having time to go visit the border when this is a great deal of his own making. I mean, this has happened on his watch because of his lack of attention, because of his open border policies, and now he wants to keep his hands clean, or at least his image protected from the reality of it. I think it speaks to the travesty that has become Barack Obama's administration.
Bob, as you mentioned the border, we take a look back at the field of candidates in the Republican primary for governor there, a field that you were able to lead as you are now the nominee for governor. Also on that list, another one of my House colleagues from days gone by, Tom Tancredo. Tom, a border hawk, as I am. A lot of folks in the establishment are quick to say, well, you see, Bob Beauprez, he's a little more businesslike about this. He's not as strong on border security. Are there those who, outside of Colorado, want this battle between the Tea Party and the Republican establishment to go on? I'm just kind of curious your take on the border and the role it played or did not play in the Republican primary in your eventual nomination.
I suppose it played some. That would be mischaracterization to say it didn't, because clearly Tom had his fans, and many of them for that reason. But I want to make it very clear, Tom was the first to call and congratulate me on election night, and the first to offer his unqualified support, and toured with me the following Wednesday, and offered that support in 8 different cities on that one single day. So. Tom is very much with me. We're not that far apart on border security, and we begin there, J.D., as I know you do, that you've got to fix the problem, you've got to stop the leak in the bucket, you've got to have a secure border, and that's something that this president wants to pretend is the case, but pretending doesn't make it so. I think we're seeing evidence every single day of how porous our border is and how unwilling this president, this administration, is unwilling to deal with it.
So, Bob, tell us about your campaign for governor. What do you see as the most important issues for the state of Colorado?
opportunity, and then the fact that we have been losing a great deal of it. You know, we're still limping along with an economy that is barely growing. Yes, we have had some job growth, but we're 5 years into a supposed recovery, and we're still talking about this new normal nonsense when a whole lot of Coloradans are wondering where the recovery is for them. We've got senior citizens that are forced to take entry-level jobs at fast food restaurants just to survive. Our number of citizens in Colorado relying on food stamps has more than doubled since the recession started and showed no sign of turning back down, getting back to a more normal rate yet. So we've got the same issues as much as the country does, a lack of leadership, a lack of opportunity, and an encroachment on what people believe are their inherent, their guaranteed constitutional rights. We've had a state led by a governor that's come after our Second Amendment rights, and people in Colorado are fed up with that. They want freedom again, and they want leadership again, and we're going to give them that choice.
Bob Beauprez, I recall quite fondly our days together on the Ways and Means Committee with pro-growth economic policies we both endorsed. We thank you for spending time with us, taking time for the campaign trail. Good luck as you pursue the governor's mansion there in Colorado.
Thanks, JD. Morgan, good to be with you. BobBeauprez.com if anybody's interested.
I think probably some folks are interested, Bob. Like a good candidate, you got the website in, and we thank you. Speaking of websites and your comments, we'd love to hear from you. Why don't you tweet us at NewsmaxTV, #America's Forum. There's also NewsmaxTV.com/comment.